These are all situated. I just have to get them in there. And then the long stud one's got to go towards the rear instead of the front, but not a big deal. I'm gonna have to do something with that. So we had this one bolt bust off for the mount. Then I zip tied it here, but this looks like it's got too much tension on it. I just realized that. Have to figure out something better solution because it's supposed to go right here. I'll show you. There's a bolt that snapped off at the easy out at it, or welded nut on top. Right where I'm pointing. That's where the hold down goes normally for this wire. So this isn't gonna work. I'm gonna clip that so it doesn't mess up my ABS with sensor wire. Because that's after like a couple 100-mile driving, you know, then you realize if something works or not. Usually in that time frame, usually about 1,000 miles or something. Let me clip it. I think after doing this stuff enough is the thing where people get really good at this stuff is if you had enough exposure to doing this stuff yourself. Like I've got a decent amount, but I'm not like, you know, the best at it. But I think the more you get more exposure to doing this stuff and seeing all the pitfalls and the stuff that can go wrong and whatnot, that's where you start to learn, get better and better at it. Like, you know, kind of like, you know, a racetrack or something. You go in slow and careful till you realize you can go faster and faster. You get to get a feel for what you're doing. And that's how you get better at it. So this is supposed to go down here. A lot less tension. I guess it's just too far up there. Glad I realized that and saw that. Not a big deal. So I'm gonna get these bolts tightened in. It's probably not the most exciting things to watch, but it's just the next step that's going on here. So there's more exciting stuff to come. It's just part of it. I gotta crawl underneath. Put the bolts in there too. Get this bolt. It's kind of nice having the blazer out there because some of the stuff it's in place on that. I was using it as a guide for things sometimes too. Not bad. So that one's all put together already. This is pretty much all done already. But I noticed the orientation of the exhaust manifold bolts didn't match up with the blazer had, so this one bolt has to go down here. And it makes sense because that stud, I think that has a little plastic hook thing for holding up your spark plug wires. So it makes more sense anyway in that regard as well. So we got the spark plugs in yesterday. We got to do the wires. Start putting the accessories back on like the serpentine belt and that kind of thing. Change the oil. We'll change the oil too. Yeah, this works. Kind of bounce around and cinch them up. Don't want to go all the way torqued as much as possible right off the bat. supposed to be tightening. Just that back drag on there. That's a lot more ergonomic and just better all around. Go through and tighten them again and we're done on this one. There, see that? I had to cinch it up by hand some, otherwise the back drag on the ratchet will keep having to go back and forth and not actually tighten. The film, because I got the tire out. The other side is pretty tight fit in general over there. So that socket bottomed out so we don't the head off or anything. Go through and see how this was tight, but now that I tightened that one up, so you got to go back through and cinch up the rest of them, get them all even, because they have that dead space because the other parts tighten already. So otherwise this thing will probably vibrate loose if I don't do that. Get this socket extension back on here. That even puts that shield right in where I need it by torquing that. Torquing it down, just getting them snug. Get that last one without the extension. Okay, that one's tight. One more check on them. And spark plug wire time. After this is tight. Okay. So this bracket will go on now for the spark plug wires. Excuse me, guys. Just got to get it right in there the way it's supposed to be. This side is a little tricky because I got the dipstick to work around. That's why it's, you know, not just going all smooth and quick. It'd probably help if you see what I'm doing. Sorry about that. Oh, it's a catch on. Because it has to piggyback with the oil dipstick hold down right here. Yeah, it's the oil dipstick. Okay. Here. It's got to be snaked in there just right. There. What the heck is it catching on up there? I gotta get behind the dipstick. Fun stuff in there. It's gotta pry it up a little bit to give it the clearance for this thing to come through. Oh, I can just bend this down. That's fine. I didn't realize that was the only thing holding it up there. Now we got the room and articulation. It's perfect. Kind of mold it the way you need it, like Play-Doh. You know what I mean? No, not yet, Pookie. We're almost there. Get this hoodie out. How you been, Pookie? Okay. Get my legs in here. We're almost to that point. We're getting closer. Getting real close. Fewer and fewer things left to do on this. We're almost to that point. Really close. Oh, come on. Dipsticks. Okay, I figured out where it's got to go now. Now that I pushed it up over that lip, I think I got it. Let me see. I think you guys can see that. Kind of, my hand's kind of in the way. It's not intentional. All right, I think I got it started. No, I didn't. Oh, come on. How close. Oh, wow. Like it's made out of real gold. Man, it's got that tension on it. It keeps trying to distort where it's going from the dipstick. It's that dipstick that's giving me a hard time. This dipstick hold down. I gotta pry it up there. Okay, that'll work. I'll grab that. Let's try this. Oh yeah. I'm more leverage than I can come up with my hand. So I have to pry it up onto it. It needs to get up on top of the exhaust manifold, apparently. Okay, that might work. I don't need this chisel in my hand no more. Works good. Okay, I got it threaded in. Wow. And the other side lined up. That bolt. And we can mount the spark plug wires on top of that thing for the hold downs and stuff. Good. Okay, and then over here. What's PSA mean? I'm not too familiar with that. Huh. So they're trying to pass a replica as off as the real McCoy or something. Scamming kind of thing. Interesting. Oh, that's not interesting. That's not supposed to do that. Keep going. All right, now I just gotta tighten these bolts down. Looks like a 10 mil. We're at 9 sitting here. That's weird. See if it fits. No, it's a 10. Maybe this one's a 9 because I had to put some different fastening on this one. No, I think they're both 10s. Okay. 10 wobbly here, so might fit the bill. Yeah, 10 wobbly. We'll swivel socket. Huh, okay. So you've been collecting them for a while, it sounds like. That's cool, man. Sorry if my arm's in the way, guys. I know side's tight. Sorry about looking at my arm. Good, how are you doing? Yeah, yeah. That's not a bad thing though, because I saw it I have to bottom out that shift shaft seal. Because when I put it in on those videos I made a few months ago, I didn't get it deep enough. It's in the position, it just needs to get whacked with a bigger hammer. We're about to do that today too. So I don't want to keep on having to top off fluids if it shouldn't be leaking. It's only leaking because I didn't seat it down all the way. It's a new GM seal, so it's not junk. As long as I do my part, it'll do its part. Kind of thing. Yeah, good to see you stopping in there. Appreciate it. This thing's getting closer to being done. Then I'm supposed to go to a friend's place there, a new friend of mine. Check out the vehicle he's got. Hopefully by the weekend, so I can drive this right over there and do a whole bunch of stuff with some content. Cause he's got a 2011 Chevy Caprice that was like police only kind of thing. He got it from a government auction, like police auction. It's got some fancy stuff under the hood. Cool stuff. And he rebuilds a lot of LS engines and things like that. He's got a whole bunch of vehicles there. So it should be interesting. As long as I do my part and get this thing going, I can drive it over there. I almost got that bolt finished up. I just had to want anything too loose and it backs out from the vibrations of driving, you know. Aware about the oil. Okay, so Pookie, you got 1960 Spider-Man, X-Men. Wow, they're like mint condition plastic, right? Wow, that's awesome about this producer Star Wars. That stuff's like got the cult following with the memorabilia and the merchandise. Wow, that's really cool, man. Yeah, if you just give me a little more backstory about it there, Bono, I can a better idea of what you got going. So I have to underneath now. Well, actually, we're gonna do spark plug wires first, and then we'll do the shift shaft seal. Stand up. Okay. Spark plug wires for this side of the vehicle around the floor of the passenger's side here. So let's get into the vehicle. Yeah, another good thing to do is like to clean up your oil, and then see if it's still like that, you know. Like go through and like use some brake clean and a rag and kind of thing. I was trying to get you guys in position here. To try to just have a fresh thing so you can tell if there's like fluids actively leaking or it's been there for a while kind of thing. You might have known that already though. Because there's a bunch of stuff that could be leaking or just slow seepage kind of leak. Man, this is looking good already. Come a long ways, that's for sure. So we're gonna put this PCV line in here, and it's gonna need that. I'll get you guys showing where it goes. So much tools in here, guys, it's nuts. I can't set nothing down. Tools everywhere. Yeah. So yeah, what I would do would be like take some, get some brake clean, like put on a rag, like a clean rag, and then wipe it down, all that stuff to get it nice and clean. Then keep an eye on it as you do driving. Like take note of the variables, like how much driving, that kind of thing, and see what the conditions were going on while you were while it starts to happen again, or if it doesn't happen anymore and it was just dirty kind of thing. Okay, so down here there's that valve cover part right here where I'm pointing with this rubber. This has to go in here with this little bung looking thing that hooks up to the through and important. It's gonna have a massive vacuum leak if you don't put this back in. So I'm gonna put that back in. And it's supposed to point upward out of there. Try to move you guys over and get in to do it too. Yeah, no problem. And then let me know if it still does. And then, so is it near the cap, or do you have an oil filter up on top? Because I think some of the Subarus, that's a Subaru, right? Some of the Subarus on top, they have the filter up there. Most of the stuff to rectify things like that is probably something really simple. You just once you're aware of what the problem is and how to correct it, it's not scary anymore. You know, it's only scary and you know what it does and how to handle it. Like a lot of things in life, it's like when you first have a kid and they're crying and you're fresh from the hospital and they're freaking out and that kind of thing, and you're by yourself. Once you're equipped with the knowledge to handle the situation, It's not scary anymore. Usually. Just thread this in there. So I left this off by accident on my truck when I put it back together. I mean, I had a massive. It makes you think the idle air control valve's bad, and it's not. I went and checked. I'm like, oh, this needs to be attached. Simple things. Sometimes it's simple things. That's nice when it's just simple. See, I'm just trying to route this hose upward. Because the original rubber on this was shot. It was all cracked super bad. This is some heater hose, same length, same diameter. I adapted it onto here. So that way we don't have vacuum leak anymore. And it's working good. As long as I do my part and get it in position. You know. Kind of hard to route it. I had to take this off when I ran the valve cover in here. Kind of a tight spot. And it's still a tight spot to get in there. Okay, we just about got it routed in. Now we can go on to the next thing. Jeez. Oh, come on now. It's a strange routing thing, I think. I'm just the one that's doing it weird. Oh, okay. The fitting spins. That helps a lot. Okay. Now I can get it in. The fitting itself spins. Okay, we're just about to get it in there. Okay, now it's got to push it in. But just to make remember. Okay, yeah, do that. Yeah, definitely. And I'm not. You know how to change your oil, right? And did you do the oil in it? So okay, like I was saying, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. This thing's really easy to bottom out on the other valve cover. This one I don't think so as much. But we're not. See how it's just sitting up a little bit. Push it down a little bit more. Trying to get it so you guys can see. But this thing, the other side, you could push it right through, like too far. And then it would be smacking your rocker arms. And that's not good. This one just bottoms out and it stops. So, boom. That's in position. It's a big accomplishment. Okay. Because what you could do, if you do change your oil, you probably have the knowledge to do that, I'm assuming. Well, they have a certain amount of oil you put in. Like most vehicles, it's like somewhere between like 4.5. I think some go up to like 7. Some diesels go a lot more than that. Yeah. Kind of sounds like the oil was spilled on the engine when they're filling it. I think you might be on something there, Pookie. Thanks for the advice. So, whoops. Got the spark plug wires underneath you. I'm moving them out. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So if you go through and do a good detail cleaning of like any of the oil spills residue, because that stuff, yeah, every time it gets warm, it'll start to stink. Okay, spark plug wire time. So let's get this distributor. Let me back up this zoom a little bit. So they got the distributor here already all put in from the other day. So much stuff in here. Hang on. Move all these tools, guys. stand just keeps bumping into everything. So right here, okay, we already put dielectric grease on the little connectors yesterday and the day before, I think a couple days ago. So this. So this wire is going to go in the middle. So I had a cap and rotor already from earlier, but this new one came with a whole new one, so we're just using the whole unit as it came. So I already know where this wire goes. But what we're going to try to do is route the first one, the one that's further down on the front of the engine, towards the front of the vehicle, rather. Wow. So yeah, if it's a how often or when did that problem come about, like, kind of thing. So this is the longer one. This one's got to go down there. Yeah, just kind of retracing. Problem started. If it started after the oil change thing, and I wouldn't try to give them too much a hard time about it. You gotta remember, they're like they're human beings and stuff. And just like, if just like, hey, I noticed it was kind of oily or something like that. I don't know. That's what I would do, but I know there's some level of trust if you're taking it there, so have some kind of relationship, or it's just a convenience thing. You're just at some random place doing it. But because I know, like, when I was in the Army, they'd always give you chances. Like, if you screwed up something, like, you go back and F yourself. Go and set that right. Go do it right. They give you chances and all that. It makes sense. Okay, we got these lined up on this side. We'll go ahead and set them in place. I have to route them down from below, so I'm going to set the light. I'm going to swoop them down here. These are those fancy ceramic spark plug, high heat, high performance, whatever, These are expensive. See if they make a difference. I had these earlier, so I know it wasn't the spark stuff. And what could have been the ignition coil? I changed all this stuff too. Same brands as standard blue streak stuff. Got a lot of new stuff. Let's get this stuff put in. I'll get this light over on this side. Okay. How many miles you got on that Subaru there, Bono? Okay. All right, I'm going to route these down underneath. I know a lot of them have the head gasket issues too, but that would be like coolant leaking. That's probably not what's going on. All right, putting these on. Okay, one's down. lost the wire. All right. Okay, 130K. So, did you smell like antifreeze burning or anything, or it smell like you know how antifreeze smells when it's in the car, right? It's got like that sweet smell, kind of like a maple syrupy kind of smell. But the thing's probably been taken care of. I'm assuming it's been maintained. I can't remember what year they were for the Subarus. I think the newer ones, they stopped having the head gasket issues as much. Okay, so that's good. It's probably just the oil being left on top. All right, so we had a few things. I got the pen here. We can check off on this list. Here's the pen. Oops. Sorry, that's a piece of paper over the lens. Hang on a second. All right. So our check off list. Okay. So other than that oil thing, you don't think weird what's going on with it? So I got into fixing cars when I was driving my 98 Honda Civic back when I worked at Pacey's way back in the day. Anyway, the tire came off because the ball joint got loose and I didn't know how to maintain nothing. So I got stranded like in a snowstorm sitting there, you know, back in like Governor. Anyway, so that's why I went ahead and learned this stuff at college after that. Oh, no, it's a Subaru he's got. I think they have like a 2.5 and I think a 3.6. I think some other stuff too. I haven't done a whole lot on Subarus lately. I did some stuff, not recently though. We got spark plugs wires almost all the way done. We'll check that off because that's pretty much done. I still have to zip tie the power steering thing. I already did the AC line hold nut down bracket. Still got to bleed the system of that. Put these things on. We're getting closer. I just have to cut it short today because I have to run an errand, unfortunately. So I'll have to pick this up when I get back on it, more likely today. Alright, guys. So we got a few things done. We got the exhaust manifolds done. Driver's side exhaust manifold right here. We got all that done. So check that out. Oh, PCV hose too. That's done. So yeah, go ahead and send me the picture there, Bono, and I'll take a look at it. Thanks everybody for watching and tuning in. I appreciate it. Please like and subscribe if you like this kind of thing. It really helps the channel. Appreciate it. All right, guys. We'll leave it here until next time. We'll get this thing going soon.